breaking news coming in, which is that multiple attacks have now been reported targeting American interests across the Middle Eastern region. In Iraq, explosions were heard in Erbil, with reports of drone as well as missile strikes targeting locations housing American military personnel as well. In Saudi Arabia, the international media has been reporting drone as well as missile attacks targeting areas including Al-Kharg as well as Riyadh, triggering explosions as well as fires. In Bahrain, local sources are reporting an explosion near the capital of Manama with a possible strike on an American naval facility. Meanwhile, in Iran, state-affiliated media is reporting an airstrike on a radio facility in Bandar Abbas with at least one casualty. Powerful explosions also reported across the capital city in Iran of Tehran. In West Tehran's Khorramabad, footage shows residents searching through debris of a destroyed building following an airstrike. The strikes have also triggered a blackout in the area. So these are, of course, visuals as well, which are backdated and, of course, from earlier. And we'll, of course, keep getting you all the action over what's been transpiring in the Middle East as well. Multiple attacks on American assets in different parts of the Middle East, and of course also attacks by America and Israel on Iran. Let me go across to Mayank now, who joins us from Tel Aviv as we speak. Mayank, the situation extremely precarious in the Middle East, and what's now made the entire scenario worse is the threat that's come from the United States that power plants of Iran might be targeted, and Iran in turn saying that they might end up targeting energy assets close to America and its interests, particularly in the Middle East, and of course the threat of shutting down the Straits of Hormuz as well. So we're seeing the escalation ladder being climbed quite quickly.
So let me begin by describing the situation today here in Tel Aviv, because it was a relative calm, and to the extent I can say that it is the first day on which the calm has been this much. And we are standing at the coast of Mediterranean right now, and there are no high waves. Till yesterday, the weather was quite unpredictable, and there were high waves this side. To give the ground situation, Tel Aviv last night saw only one emergency siren which was rung. Tel Aviv, Rishon LeZion, Dimona, the site wherein we went, and there was a massive destruction yesterday, whether in Dimona or Arad. So it is a day of relative calm today. But what you bring out in the kind of news is coming from the Gulf nations. Now let me bring in something. Although amidst the regular reports that military installations, establishments or command and control centers or the buildings which are being used by the armed forces personnel for stay and all, residences and all, the escalation matrix has been in the hands of Iran in the way that they have used a ballistic missile. Then they came closer to the to hit the research facility of nuclear research facility of Israel. So, and now the statements made by President Donald Trump, that they'll be hitting the targets which will include the reservoir or other the power centers, power generation centers, and Iran is coming back on that. It has not stopped striking the places which it believes are being used by the military or the bases of US to launch operations against it, one. And two, they have also made it clear that Strait of Hormuz will become a bigger problem for the world, to the extent that they will stop every movement from that side. So this war of words, also the operations on ground, but there was relative calm, at least Israel, as far as Israel is concerned.
Okay, stay with us, Mayank, because we have some more breaking news, which is that Iran has claimed that its forces have also targeted key American military installations across the Gulf region. And according to Iran's state-aligned Mehr news agency, strikes had been carried out on the Prince Sultan Air Base in Saudi Arabia and on the US Navy's Fifth Fleet facility in Bahrain, which basically is the nerve center for carrying out multiple operations in the Middle East as far as the US is concerned. The Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps has also warned that any threat against Iran will be met with a response at a level required to establish deterrence. So a strong warning going from Iran as well to the United States. Let me go back once again to Mayank. Now, Mayank, this war has entered its fourth week. Many initially had questioned Iran's resolve, claiming that they might be in a position wherein, while retaliating to American and Israeli strikes, they might end up running out of missiles of munitions, that they may not have the capacity to sustain themselves beyond a span of a few weeks. But we're well into the fourth week now, and those retaliations have continued on the part of Iran.
Apart from the hardcore military power, what needs to be understood is the leadership. Initially, when the things started, as we had all surmised that the Iranians would capitulate because their top leadership has been knocked off or has been killed in operations or had been made ineffective. But what we see is actually continuous operations which are being carried out by whether IRGC or the military from Iran side, and they are leading the escalation ladder or the matrix they are playing with. So one thing we need to understand is that their leadership has given or has shown a kind of adaptability to whatever is happening to those countries in terms of military operations. Also, second thing, depletion of the military which is used for offensive parts and the long distance attacks. There also you see that one time or the other, the lead is being taken by the Iranians in terms of their missile attacks, drone attacks, which are ingressing the air defense capabilities of entire region and also Israel, because yesterday while we were talking to IDF personnel, they also spoke about that a sort of a study will be done, that what came to the extent that ingress of air defense system was happened yesterday, to the extent that Dimona was hit and Arad was hit. The place from where Times Now reported and brought out those exclusive reports showed massive craters going deeper down to the ground and in a larger area, expanded into a larger area. The waves were such high, the frequencies were so high of the sound that the entire area was struck. All the cars, they had their windscreens shattered. The alarms were blowing up because of the waves and all, tremors and all. So you can understand things are not yet over. These may be signs of things which will continue for some time. And let us wait for the operations which have been as announced by President Donald Trump and which has been reacted and responded by Iran too.
All right, and Mayank, while of course there's been disproportionality in terms of casualties, whether it is Iran as opposed to Israel and the United States, Iran has certainly sent a message that it's very much in a position to target very sensitive areas as far as American as well as Israeli interests are concerned. Stay with us, Mayank, because we have some more news coming in, which is that Iran